Nick Fradiani is releasing his EP Where We Left Off on Friday. The title is fitting, as Fradiani is moving into the next phase of his career, continuing to grow as a singer and songwriter while he carves out his own spot on music playlists. Fansided spoke to Nick ahead of his EP release to discuss what fans can expect from Where We Left Off, how it's been for him to return to the mainstream music world after reality TV success, and his thoughts on the return of American Idol. Learn more about Nick Fradiani in our interview below. Make sure you download his new EP on Friday, and catch him on tour now through November 30th. Tour dates and tickets are available on his website. One thing to know is that Nick Fradiani isn't just another pop singer. He's a whole lot more than the covers people got to hear when he won American Idol Season 15, and the new EP reflects a much wider range. There's some songs that are a little more pop, there's some songs that have a full choir, and another song that almost has a blues feel to it, he told us. I tried to put all my influences into this and put myself into it as much as I possibly could. I think so far for me as a musician, it was kind of the best writing and recording process I've had in a long time, Fradiani continued. I think it's going to show for listeners, especially the people that have been following me for a long time. Even some people from before Idol, who were into my band from before, they're really happy with what they've heard so far. Where We Left Off is Nick's first release since his post-Idol album Hurricane, and he told us that coming off that 2016 release, he's still working toward getting the reception he wants as an artist. There are parts of Hurricane I was proud of, but at the same time I don't think I had quite found myself as a solo artist when I put that out, he explained. I won the show and I had never done a solo thing in my whole life. Even though I was older, I had always been in a band. I went for it and I swung for a real passe kind of thing that the record label wanted me to do. There were some elements in there that I liked. But this new EP is me trying to rebrand myself as what I think I am, which is kind of alternative pop. I like to use real instruments. I don't want there to just be synth and falsetto vocals and all that stuff. I'm trying to bring elements of music I listened to when I was young that I loved, and whether or not that's considered pop right now, I'm not sure, he added, but I'm in the process of rebranding myself and I think this is the start of it. In that sense, the journey of Nick Fradiani is just beginning. He's not the first artist to win a reality TV singing competition and then find out that what he wants and what the label wants aren't the same thing, or that the label has different expectations. The transition from reality TV back to the rest of the music world isn't always easy, but it's also when we see artists get the chance to show whole new sides of themselves that they didn't get to express on TV. What's the biggest lesson he's learned now that he's moving forward with his career? I've learned to go with my gut, he said. Whether or not you have the most experience personally, you know yourself better than anybody else. I think a lot of times I just assumed people knew what they were talking about because of who they were or what they were doing. I've learned now that to really be successful musically, you obviously have to know who you're taking advice from, but you also really need to really go with your gut. You really know yourself the best, and I know myself the best, so I've kind of learned to go with what I think is the right move. It's been a cool year for me, Fradiani reflected, to create all this, not even knowing I was going to create an EP. After I left Nashville and I was off Big Machine Records, his former label, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I needed to start writing again, whether it was for me or whatever, and I'm glad that I was able to get back and get this out relatively quick and have people hopefully enjoy it. In support of Where We Left Off, Fradiani is currently in the middle of a North American tour that will keep him on the road through November. And if you haven't seen a Nick Fradiani concert, you will want to add one to your calendar this fall, because it's a completely different experience than any of his TV appearances or recordings. I'm playing with an entirely new band for the first time maybe in my whole life, he enthused. I'm using 4 different guys including myself. I think for the live show it's a little more rocking. We try to keep it as up-tempo and fun as possible, and I kind of like to switch it up and keep everyone on their toes. Yeah, I'll be surprised if you've only seen me on Idol or if you've only listened to 1 or 2 songs from my last album. We try to keep it as musical as possible, and try to have a lot of fun up there. Fun is a good word to use when considering Nick Fradiani and his new EP. We're watching an artist who finally got the break he deserved on national television, but that's never been all he is. We're now getting to see him strike out on his own, create his own sound, sharpen his own skills, and be able to almost reintroduce himself to a music world that needs to pay more attention to this great singer and songwriter. Given that he's also the last winner of American Idol, at least until next spring, we asked him for his thoughts on ABC reviving the series. I'm excited the show is coming back, Fradiani said. I hope it does great. I hope it all works out and returns to be one of the biggest shows. Maybe they could have waited a little longer to give people that "I can't believe it's back" feeling. But obviously people at the networks think it's got some steam left, and I hope it does. Whoever succeeds him as the next American Idol winner, Nick Fradiani's journey to the top is only just beginning. With Where We Left Off and his new tour, he's heading off in a whole new direction and might all be wise to follow. Nick Fradiani's new EP Where We Left Off can be ordered now on iTunes. For the latest news in music, be sure to follow the music category at Fansided here.